Takes for a sec. How's it going today?
I'm good. Who are you talking to, Brady? Who are you talking to?
I don't know. We're on.
All right, man. Hey, it's going here.
I just want to make it
okay,
weird.
guys. So we're back. Brady and I are joined by a fan of the show, good friend of the show, Christian Alcala. Thanks for joining us, man.
Right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys, for having me. I'm excited.
So, go ahead.
I was going to say, so who is your favorite fighter, first of all, before we get this thing going?
Favorite fighter. Okay. So currently, my favorite fighter all time has to be Anderson Silva. A huge fan, of course. That has to be who got me into the sport is Anderson Silva. I remember watching like on Spike and so I started I went back, I watched his Pride stuff. Dude, awesome, huge fan. But right now I have to say Luke Rockhold is my favorite fighter. I know. I think pound for pound, skill for skill, dude is on another level. It sucks that he's been chinny. I think most of his fights, man, he's done really well until he gets knocked out, right? So that's my guy.
And we're not going to comment on that one because that's a hard next. So you just got your first next. I don't know what to say. He's talented. I mean, he could have been if he had a chin, but he had his moments. So
I mean, when you're a part-time model, part-time fighter, it's gonna be a tough gig. He got a world championship in 2 different organizations. Good for him. That's all I gotta say about Luke Rockhold. Anyways,
he did make it to our hometown one time, though.
He did.
Right.
He did. Okay, so first of all, happy birthday to the GOAT. I had to wear my Ali shirt for today. It's Muhammad Ali's birthday, so he would have been 79 today. So rest in peace, champ. Okay, so we'll quickly go through the Calvin Kattar, Max Holloway card. First of all, Brady and I couldn't have been any more wrong. That was
I was looking online though, and I seen a lot of people's predictions were off. Like it wasn't just us. Like people were there were surprises. Underdogs came out and won. So
you know what? And I saw a lot of people kind of were writing off Holloway. A lot of people were really high on Kattar. I'm a big fan of Kattar. I like his striking, but yeah, the dude could not get started. Holloway's pressure was just on another level.
Yeah. Yes. So before we get to that,
we did have 2 sumo wrestlers fighting, right?
Dude, these are natural middleweights. Natural middleweights fighting a heavyweight. What are we doing?
Like, what is going on?
Those guys got some tree trunk legs. Those are big boys. But
they're still sponsored by Burger King and Fast Eddie's.
Oh my God, Brady! You're gonna get us demonetized, bro.
Not by Carlos Taffa.
Who do you think won, Christian? Carlos Felipe or Justin Taffa?
I myself did score it for Taffa. I gave him 1 and 3. I thought even the second round was very competitive. Felipe had his moments in there and where he probably did steal the round, but I thought Taffa had a really, really good performance.
I didn't see the fight.
It was one of the best fights of the card.
It was good.
I heard it was really good, but I tuned in at 3:00. So got it.
Taffa, I mean, for overweight, undersized heavyweight, I'm very impressed with his skill set. He's got a good kick to the body, a good overhand right. I'm a fan. He could definitely do something in the division. He's 4-2 in the UFC, though, which is kind of crazy. Carlos Felipe, that dude's really going to have to lose some weight because, I mean, they both were huge, but the dude's gut was hanging over his stomach. Right. You can't have that. You just can't have that.
Tuvasa or what?
Okay. Rolling on. Joaquin Buckley came in with all the hype from 2020, taking on Alessio Di Chirico. Sorry. Brady, start this one off.
The guy was coming off a 3-fight losing streak. There's proof that they were giving him. They were trying to feed him cans. But Alessio was actually a great fighter. He had his moments in the UFC before those 3 losses, and you could argue he got caught, but I think Buckley's a little chinny. He's been knocked out. This is 3rd time now. I don't know. I just don't think he could take a big shot.
Christian?
I agree. I'll tell you what, it was nice to watch. It was nice to watch. It was a good KO. Buckley, he has the power, he has the confidence, but the skill set, I don't really think it's there. He's a big dude and he's fast and he hits hard. But when it comes for skill, he got washed.
Yeah, a couple takeaways I have from that. Personally, I think Buckley's undersized. That dude should be cutting down to 170. Put down the weights, get on a treadmill, shed some of the extra muscle because the dude doesn't need to be that bodied up. Mm-hmm. And as for Alessio, wow, you made a fan out of me. And even more impressively than his knockout was his post-fight interview. The dude was like, I don't want to talk to you if you're not going to talk to the loser as well. There's two of us in the cage. I mean, on a knockout, I don't think you should talk to the loser, but in the general consensus, I agree with what he's saying. I like the message that he was trying to provide there.
Oh, for sure.
All right, Brady, your boy coming back after 2.5 year layoff. The Pawns took on the Leech. Talk to me.
I don't even want to talk about it right now. I will honestly think, like, skill-wise, I think Pons wins 9 out of 10 times. I just think he was really rusty. He was not throwing his hands at all. Like, it was like 3 minutes into the fight, and he didn't even throw any punches. Like, I truly believe it was ring rust. I mean, it's a long time off, and you're going to see him come back stronger.
Yeah, he was talking pretty highly of himself, I think, coming in. I thought he was going to pick up where he left off. But you know what? You got to give Lee his credit. He showed up to fight. He looked good. He was fast. He hit hard. And, he definitely earned that win.
Yeah.
Pons is 34 years old. He hasn't fought in 2.5 years. He had some serious injuries. I think this is it, man. I think he has one more fight in the UFC. Even if he wins, I don't think it's going to be impressive. I don't think he's going to be at the top level anymore. I think that's it.
You're a hater.
No,
I'm not a hater. I'm just being real.
I thought the same thing when I saw that he was 34. I'm like, wow, he lost 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. That sucks. That does suck.
Now getting to the best fight of the night for me. Well, the biggest moment for me.
Okay. The immortal Matt Brown took on the natural born killer, Condit.
Were you thinking that fight? Well, first of all, I want to shout out because Condit always is my boy. He's my favorite fighter of all time. When did he become a wrestler? Were you thinking that, like, you know, to wrestle now? It was kind of good to see because in every other Condit fight, man, the guy has the worst takedown defense. You could take down Condit and you could throw him around like a rag doll. Like, go watch him versus Johnny Hendricks. I honestly, like, they thought with the judges, it was like 30-27. Matt Brown was pissed. I scored at 3-0 for him in the rounds. Matt Brown did nothing in top control in the first round. Condit landed out way more shots on the bottom, and that's something the judges had to look at, too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess 3-0, but I thought that for sure the first round was a Brown round. The third round was fairly close. I edged Condit. The second round was the only round I thought was a clear-cut, decisive round. That was for Condit. So, yeah, Condit's on a 2-fight win streak now. He's 36. I don't think there's really much for him to do. Like, this is the end of his UFC run as well. We don't know if he's going to resign. Even if he does stay with the UFC, I don't see him beating a top guy. Just my opinion.
I was thinking about who he should fight next, and I really think, like, two old veterans that are on a 2-fight win streak. I like Carlos Condit versus Tim Means next.
Oof. I like, and Tim Means looked really good his last outing. Was that Mike Perry?
Perry.
Perry?
Yeah.
I think that fight sounds nice.
Anything else you want to add to that, Christian?
So I didn't agree with the scorecard. I didn't give him the 30-27. I did give him 2 and 3. I thought even though Condit was really active off his back in the first, which I love to see, I think guys are super successful when they're active off their back. Definitely. But I gave him 2 and 3. He won, but it was a good fight, and both of them looked really good. You could tell that Matt Brown got a little bit tired, but yeah, they both fought their asses off for sure.
Right. Okay, and the main event, in what I thought was the best fight of this whole Fight Island week, starting off 2021, Max Holloway was taking on Calvin Kattar. I thought Calvin Kattar was the best boxer in the UFC coming into this. Max Holloway just stole my soul, made me look like an absolute casual. Bow down to the blessed one. Bow down to the blessed one.
There's not much in a fight that, like, those are one of those history moments, that fight, honestly, where you're just, like, amazed. Like, this is happening? Like, the way he was shuffling, talking, like, you think he's the best boxer? And saying, like, talking. Did you see those?
No look, right hand.
Yeah, and then he just dodged. Like, that's going to be remembered forever. Is he an all-time great?
Yes, easy.
Yeah, no, and he's young. He's super young, so he still has years to come. Like, he's still going to continue to do this because I believe he is the #1 featherweight in the world right now.
I think he's #1 featherweight, and I think that was Max Holloway hitting his prime.
Yeah, and what did he throw? What, north of 700 strikes?
It landed 450.
Ridiculous. He looked awesome. He really looked awesome.
Max is only 29. We were just seeing him coming to his prime. They say 29 years old. How good could this guy get?
I mean, shoot, I think we saw a little sneak peek, I think, and you know what?
Yeah.
I'm excited to see. I know we have the fight coming up with Ortega and Volkanovski. I'm excited to see Max take on either of those guys.
Okay, so here's a couple things I wanted to mention on this fight. Calvin Kattar, his whole game plan was terrible. We saw in the Volk fights, Max doesn't fight well going off the back foot. Calvin Kattar, you're the bigger, stronger, harder hitting man. Back Max up. Why would you take the back step? I didn't understand that.
Yeah, I didn't understand that at all. But when you're in the ring and this guy isn't stopping, what are you supposed to do?
Right.
Max did not stop his movement.
Right. He was throwing back. He was getting hit a lot, and he was giving it a shot. Max was eating him.
Now imagine Max with power punching.
Oh God.
Like,
and one other thing I noticed, so there was a huge speed disadvantage. Calvin Kattar didn't have the hand speed Max had.
No.
So why are you trying to throw straight right hands and jabs to the body? Don't throw those long punches to the body when you have the speed disadvantage. It doesn't make sense to me because you're going to counter for the overhand right and the head kick every time.
Max is very good at hitting the body, even though he has dinosaur arms, eh?
Right.
He does.
Yeah.
He does. So coming out of this, Max Holloway, some of the takeaways, Max needs a title shot. That's it. If Volk gets past Ortega, I don't care. We need to see the trilogy. If Ortega gets past Volk, we'll run that one back. Calvin Kattar versus Korean Zombie, that's the fight to make, though.
That's a nice fight. I like that or Yair Rodriguez.
Yeah, that's good too.
When he comes back from his 6-month suspension for being a wuss. I just want to say, I've been wanting to say this on the show the whole time. How good is Dustin Poirier's hand strikes?
Oof, buddy.
Right.
Now, how good is Khabib?
What?
Look, because I'm looking look what Max did to, or Dustin did to Max, Poirier, right. And look what Khabib did to Dustin.
I mean, that wasn't really much on the feet, though. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying. I don't know.
Brady, have another drink, bro. What are you talking? Okay, we're gonna roll on. Forget the even said that. Okay, we're moving on. Okay, so we're rolling on to the UFC 257 previews. Where do you guys want to start at? Do you want to start with Khalil Roundtree?
Sure.
Yep, we can do that.
Okay, so we got Roundtree taking on Marcin Prachnio. Roundtree retired. He came back. Practice.
Did he retire? I thought he was coming. He was looking for a retirement fight. This might be his retirement fight, and it didn't come into fruition.
That could be the situation for sure. Yeah.
I'm not too sure. Comment below. But they're giving Khalil to a guy who's on a 3-fight win streak. Now that being said, we learned from this past weekend, even though you're on a 3-fight losing streak and you should win a fight, things happen. So I'm pulling for Khalil in this fight. But
Khalil's gonna kill this guy. This guy got knocked out.
I think Khalil is definitely taking this dude's head off. He's gotten, and it's not just 3 losses; it's 3 KO or TKO losses. So yeah. I think Khalil is definitely.
But I'm saying things happen in MMA, and we're learning from these underdogs.
That's true.
Dude, you got stopped in the first round 3 times in a row. He should be cut.
Yeah. It's not like he's Junior Dos Santos, right?
You're on. Dude, your takes today are something else, man. Everybody give this guy a hard time in the comments, please. Okay, we're rolling on. We're rolling on. We got Juliana Pena taking on Sarah McMahon. I mean, I don't really care about this fight, to be honest with you guys.
It's crazy to think that the winner of this fight could actually be a contender in the bantamweight division, though.
Right. You know what? I haven't myself seen too much from Juliana Pena that is too exciting as of late, at least. I think Sarah McMahon's probably gonna, cuddle her for 3 rounds, and that's gonna be that.
I would like to see Sarah McMahon win, but she seems to choke with people who could submit her. And Panay is good at submissions. I think she's gonna pull a 2nd-round submission.
Pena's had 3 fights in 4 years. Sarah McMahon is a silver medalist in the 2004 games. She's 40 years old, though. I still think she pulls it out. I just think her activity is gonna get it done. Her grappling and the fact that she's been fighting.
Yeah. It's a pick'em, though.
It's a pick'em. Brad Tavares is taking on Antonio Carlos Jr. Again, another fight I'm not really concerned with, but Brad Tavares should get back on the right track with this one.
I think Antonio's going to grind him. It's just going to be another hug fest.
I wouldn't sleep on Brad Tavares' wrestling. He's a big boy. He's strong for the division.
Big boy.
I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna take that one for sure.
Holy, we're totally opposites today, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
We have Kelvin Gastelum's little brother, Haspars. I can't even say his last name. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
Haspras taking on Armin Sarukian, another name that I'm gonna have a harder time with. I think Haspras is gonna get back on.
Yeah, he should win.
Yeah, he has really good hands.
Yeah, he should be. I'd say TKO second round.
I'm gonna say first round. I think he gets it done quick. Okay, finally we're back. We're on to the main card now. Amanda Ribas is taking on Marina Rodriguez, who is supposed to be a karate hottie. So I think they're just kind of feeding feeding Marina to the wolves. This should be first round submission, I think.
Yeah, I think she's gonna get another Paige Van Zandt style armbar. Take
really?
down and just straight to armbar.
I actually disagree. I think Marina is really good. She was previously undefeated. She only lost that split decision to Carla.
She had 2 draws though.
Sorry?
She had like 2 draws.
Yes, she has had 2 draws, and those are against like some of the top girls in the division. Yeah. I think she's gonna do well. I think you guys are gonna be surprised. I think Marina definitely has. She has the length. She's a little bit taller. She's a little bit bigger. So yeah, I think actually Marina's gonna take that one.
That's exciting.
Yeah,
so
I know.
You think this?
Amanda,
sorry, go ahead, Chris.
My favorite. She is, but yeah, I think Marina's gonna take that one.
So you think this is a better fight than Karate Hottie versus Ribas?
Yes, I think Ribas would have beat the Karate Hottie.
Oh, she's a bad style matchup. Korean zombie. Karate Hottie would get destroyed.
How dare you guys? That's my girl. Okay. I'm honestly not familiar with these two, Matt Frivola and Ottman Azattar.
Yeah, you'll have to break us down this one. I'm not too sure, honestly. Are they off the Contender Series?
Ottman, he had a fight recently, actually, I believe at the Apex, and dude, his hands are scary. I forget who he fought off the top, but I think it was a first round KO, starched him. It was
He's a prospect to someone, is he not? I just can't think of the name.
Dude, when you don't have a Wikipedia page, it's tough, bro. It's tough when you don't have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah. Marshall's going to be making him a Wikipedia page after this.
Yeah. Okay. This is in the second from the co-main. We have Jessica Ai taking on Joanne Calderwood. I honestly think Joanne Calderwood gets this one done.
Jessica Ai is so overrated, man. She's sloppy. I don't think she's a really good fighter. She's a good brawler, but I don't find her that technically good. I think Joanna Calderwood takes her down and submits her pretty easily. I don't know why they keep putting Jessica Ai in main events with Sylvia Cavillo, and they put her on main cards every time. Like, they want to promote her just because she was in a Machine Gun Kelly video. I don't understand.
I hope you're not knocking Machine Gun Kelly, okay?
No, it'd be long. If I was knocking Machine Gun Kelly, it would be a longer video.
Oh.
The guy's trash. Anyway, he gets it done, or she gets it done.
Oh, Christian, what do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not too crazy on Jessica Ai myself. I don't think she's that great. Also, I do agree with that. I'd love to see Calderwood get back on track. Because yeah, she lost her title shot. And so it'd be nice to see her get back in the win column and try to work her way back.
Right. Okay, the moment you guys probably all been waiting for. We got everything else behind us now. We're moving on to the co-main event. Dan the Hangman Hooker taking on Iron Mike Chandler. Christian, you start this one off for us. Let's go.
All right, so let's go. We got Dan Hooker. We got Michael Chandler. Dan Hooker's really good. He has the elbows. He has the knees. He has the striking. He has the anti-wrestling, so we shouldn't sleep on that. Dude does not get taken down fighting out of New Zealand with those boys. He's gonna look okay. But Michael Chandler, he's a beast, former world champion. That one for me actually is probably a harder fight to pick than the main event, just because we haven't seen Michael Chandler compete with the best. We know he's good. We don't know how good with the top.
I don't agree with that.
Really? Go.
Eddie Alvarez and Benson Henderson. He fought a prime Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, but Benson, both times he fought Benson, that was like a shell of Benson.
Right, yeah,
exactly, but he beat Eddie Alvarez, who was in his prime, the Underground King. Eddie wasn't in his prime when he came to the UFC. He fought the best Eddie.
Well, what is that now? 5 years ago? Is that?
Eddie came to the I think it's 2014 when Eddie came to the UFC. 2014.
Yeah, and he fought
even more than that, huh?
Yeah, so I just don't think I think he's fought good competition. Will Brooks
Okay.
at the time was really
There's
good.
no doubt that he hasn't fought good competition. His fights against Primus, those were good. His fight against Patricky, unfortunately, you know how it goes. But you guys know how good. Or I'm sorry, Patricio. You guys know how good he is. Yeah, it's a hard one for me to pick Chandler just because I know how good Hooker is.
Yeah.
Mm.
Now this is going to surprise you. Do you want to go first or Marsh?
I'll go. Man, Mike Chandler. I watched a lot of his fights, but like I'm not as consistent watching Bellator events as I am UFC events. So I went back and watched a whole bunch of events. I think I was talking to you about this, Christian.
Yeah.
Like 2 days ago, I watched like 5 or 6 fights, man. Watched both Will Brooks fights. Both Patricky fights, Pitbull, both Eddie Alvarez fights, and both Primus fights. And the dude is explosive. The first round, Dan Hooker's gonna have a whole lot of problems on his hands, and yet the range is gonna be a problem. But Brett Primus is pretty much the same size as Dan Hooker, and he hit him with some good shots. I'm calling upset. I think Hooker is the favorite. I think the first 2 rounds we're gonna see Dan get backed up and hit a lot. And the third round, Dan will come on because Dan's got crazy tank, he's got crazy heart, and he'll pull up the third round, make it a war. But I do think the first 2 rounds are going to go to Mike Chandler.
Okay, so here is my prediction, and it's surprising you. I don't know if you realize, Marshall knows this. Well, you know this, but Michael Chandler is probably my favorite lightweight of all time. You know this. I've been rooting for this guy since a long time. Besides Pettis, it's probably Chandler. I think he gets starched, honestly, in the first round.
Whoa. Wow.
Yeah, I think that you got to Instagram your reaction because that was perfect. I think the style matchup with the lengths, over the years, Chandler has been hit, and he seems to not take a shot like he used to. He seems to get rocked a lot easier now. I think the wrestling, he's going to go for wrestling, and he's going to get countered with a knee and get hit in the head. As you can see in the Dustin Poirier fights, Hooker likes to grab the head and use the clinch and pull his knee up, and he's going to land on those knees on Chandler. It's going to put him out in the first round.
Chandler is giving up a lot of height there.
Yeah.
I think that's an advantage, though. Him being that short, the knee isn't going to be as powerful because it's not going to get the distance on. He's not going to follow through as hard if it was a taller fighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I want Chandler to win so bad, but it's hard.
There's another thing about this fight is Dan Hooker is not seeing his family for 2 months. Yeah. From taking this fight. A man that has that kind of dedication, I don't know what he's capable of, but I'm still going to pick with Chandler. I think stylistically he's favorite. Yeah, he should be the favorite in this one. But the determination that Hooker has, holy smokes, that's a bad man.
All right, to the main event. Now I'm going to make the first prediction because I have something to say.
Okay.
Let's go.
Ice Cube. Okay, so we got Dustin Poirier versus the notorious Conor McGregor, returning a year later, just about a year. It's been, I think, since his last fight with Cerrone. This fight it wasn't that hard for me to pick, but I do have Dustin Poirier KOing Conor in under 2 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right. Please elaborate.
Ever since he said that he was going to KO Dustin in under 60 seconds, I think Conor's going to come in way too cocky with his chin up high, and he's not going to respect Dustin Poirier. And Dustin Poirier is going to hit him early, and it's going to rock Conor. We've never really seen how Conor takes a shot from a heavy fighter, and Conor likes to keep his head up. So, have we ever seen him get hit by someone who hits hard? Like, I'm not talking about Floyd Mayweather or Nate Diaz, who hit him with pillow punches. You know what I mean? So I just think this is going to be the coming out party, and Dustin Poirier is going to have his moment where he doesn't choke like he does in all the big fights.
Okay, Christian, you follow up with that.
All right. You know what? I do like your take on that. I also myself picked Poirier to take that one. Yeah. You know what? I think even with that, a lot of people are writing him off. They put a lot of stock in that first KO, right? But people don't realize Dustin hasn't been KO'd or TKO'd since what, 2015? Was it Michael Johnson? Right?
Yeah, Michael Johnson.
And he's been in some wars, man. His chin is held up. I don't really see Conor knocking him out. And of course, Conor can. He'll knock out a gorilla. But yeah, we've seen what is it back to back 4 or 5 round fights that Dustin's been in. He's taken some shots and he has not gone away. I think Connor's. They're talking about this motivated Conor. Dustin is motivated year round. I think he really wants this one. Yeah, I'm not seeing him giving this one up at all. He has taken a lot of damage, like I said, but yeah, I'm not really seeing it. People don't talk about Conor is what 3-3 in his last 6. He's not been active. Not a lot of activity. He's fought once a year. I think he even took a year off, right, from MMA. So I think that's going to play a big part. We didn't see much from that Donald Cerrone fight. I don't put hardly any stock. No knock on Cowboy, of course, that he's a great. But you know what? He starched him. What was it, like a minute, 2 minutes?
44 seconds or something.
Right, yeah. And we haven't seen Conor fight back from too much adversity a lot of the time. And I think that we should expect that from Dustin. I think Dustin is a dog. And yeah, I have Dustin winning. Actually, I pick a third round sub for Dustin.
Okay. I think it's kind of crazy that we're all going to be going Dustin, because Dustin's my pick as well, and I don't think most of the world does not think that Dustin has a chance in this fight. But that being said, I think Dustin's going to get it done because, like you said, Dustin hasn't been stopped since 2015. He's been in the wars. Now you can look at that two ways. Is the damage going to be enough that it's going to hinder him? Down the line, at some point, it will. I think he's still in his prime. He's still young enough that he can bounce back in between fights. I don't think it's going to be a big problem. I think the layoffs for Conor is more of an issue than the damage that Dustin has taken in his last few fights. And if you look at the run this man has been on, he's fought Eddie Alvarez, Dan Hooker. He had the slip up with Khabib. Like, everyone has slip up with Khabib. Yeah, he beat Justin Gaethje. The who's who of the lightweight division. He is beating them, and he's beating them in devastating fashion. Max Holloway. And he shocked the world in that fight. Nobody thought that he was going to beat Max. I picked him. Brady didn't. I just want to be on note. Put that on the record. And
but we've been on the Dustin Poirier train a long time.
So I think the first 3 minutes, Dustin's got 3 minutes to survive. Just make Conor throw everything he's got. Make him work. And after that 3 minutes, the fight is there. He's got 25 minutes to make life fair, as he likes to say.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I think that's going to be the biggest thing is Dustin trying to avoid getting caught. I think Dustin's been very hittable. Just to add on to that, Dustin's been very hittable. He needs to work on his defense, work on his head movement, take those 3 minutes, like you say, survive. And then I think he takes over from there.
I think this is a coming out party of Dustin Poirier.
So Brady, you got first round knockout for Dustin, right?
Yes, but I wouldn't be surprised if he came out and went for a takedown right away.
Okay. Christian, what's your final pick?
I am picking Dustin. I think he's going to get a third round submission.
Right. Okay. I'm going to say unanimous decision. I don't see him stopping Conor, but I think he does do a lot of damage and wins rounds 3, 4, and 5 dominantly.
Perfect. So we'd like to thank you for having you on the show.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Honestly, very much. I appreciate it, Marshall, Brady. This has been awesome. Hopefully, we can do it again.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever. So we'll get to it.
Final thoughts, Brady? Any final thoughts?
I think that's it. Just want to shout out that Sergio Kovalov's fight is off because he tested positive. Who cares?
I mean, yeah. I feel bad for the other guy, though. It's a big opportunity for the other guy.
He'll get paid.
Christian, any final thoughts?
You know what? I think we pretty much covered everything. I think I'm rooting for my boy Dustin. I'm rooting for my boy Hooker. Should be some awesome fights.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to say, I just want to get this on record. 7 weeks out from Nunes versus Anderson. If you guys take a look at Megan Anderson's Instagram lately, this girl is putting in work. And then you look over at Amanda Nunes, she's not doing anything. It's all her kid, which is rightfully so, family first. But when you're fighting for potentially the biggest fight of your life, you got to be putting in the work. And I see Megan Anderson putting in a lot more work than Amanda. And again, rightfully so, because one person's here, one person's got a big gap to make it. But I'm kind of looking at maybe there might be an upset there, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Christian, thank you for coming on. All right, guys, we are out.
Yes,